Hello everyone. Today's our topic is instrument add system in the unit number 3 instrument add system. In the last session we will study about the what is the compressor system, and then we will study about the different types of compressor used in the instruments add system. So first of all, what is the compressor system? As we discussed earlier, after the system capacity has been determined, the type and size of compressor must be selected. So we have two general type of compressor are used to furnish the all air instrument system. So the first one is the positive displacement and the second one is the dynamic. Okay, now today's our topic is axial flow compressor. So this is the diagram of the axial flow compressor. In this you can see that we can use a compressor, turbine, nozzle system, and the shaft will be connected between the compressor and the turbine. Now in the axial flow compressor, it is a machine with aerodynamically shaped and radially blades and both rotors and casing in this mechanism. Now whenever the air passes into the machine through the first row of the rotor blades and is then redirected into the next and successive row by the alternative rows or the fixed row connected to the axial flow with the casing of the compressor. So generally in the axial flow compressor, the flow rate is as high as 1 lakh cubic feet per minute, and the pressure in this type of compressor is same as the centrifugal compressor machine. Okay, now in the axial flow compressor, they have a constant volume of the system and the pressure is variable depending upon the inflow. Now in the centrifugal, the pressure is constant but the variable area of the capacity is depend on the range of the pressure. So the axial flow compressor are rarely used for the instrument air system. Generally we have used a centrifugal compressor in this system. Now there are different types of application where we can use axial flow compressor, like we can use in the industrial, in the aerospace area, in the research area. So depending upon the types of the flow, we can use a axial flow compressor in the industrial area in the 92% area. Okay, now in the aerospace generally we can use 85% of the axial flow compressor, and in the research depending upon the type of flow we can use generally 85% of the axial flow compressor. Okay, so this is the working of the axial flow compressor and it is rarely used in the system. Okay, now the next one is the non-lubricated compressor. When the high air purifier is required, as in the instrument air system, non-lubricated compressor should be considered. So this is the application of the non-lubricated compressor when the high air purifier is required. So in the reciprocated compressor, we can use a non-lubricated compressor with the carbon or the Teflon materials. Okay, now we can use a multi-stage compressor in this non-lubricated compressor if required, and the pressure and the temperature is limited in the non-lubricated compressor because of the Teflon material we can use. Now the rotary liquid piston and the centrifugal compressor, if we can use a non-lubricated compressor, that it eliminates the need for the lubricating oil or oilless design. So there is no internal lubrication is required on the either type. So the initial cost of the liquid piston compressor is higher than the other compressor, and we can also reduce the offset by reducing the maintenance cost of the compressor. Okay, so depending upon the compressor requirement, we can use a non-lubricated compressor for the particular system. Now, when the water temperature is sufficient low and the air delivered to the dryers or the distribution lines can be maintained above the dew point, then that time we can use a non-lubricated compressor. Okay. Now, the other important things in the non-lubricated compressor is that it is the compressor cooling. Now, what is the compression cooling? So, air or gas compression cause enough temperature increase which becomes the high enough to cause the troubles with the system or with the lubrication system of the cylinder, piston and the packaging. So, the compressor cooling is also required for the system. It reduces the problem due to the temperature increase. This may be done by using the atmospheric air or the water over the cylinder. We can use the water as well as the atmospheric air in this system. Another method for the compressor cooling is we can passing the air through the intercooler using the air or the water as the cooling machine. Okay, and for that we can use the air cooler water intercoolers, water cooler intercoolers. Okay, so this is the types of the intercoolers. Okay, also we can control the compressor. Whenever the pressure increase, we can reduce the air delivery of the system, and if the pressure decrease, we can increase the air delivery of the system. Okay, next one is the dryers. Now, water is the most serious containment is compressed by the air system. Now, during the compressor process, as the air pressure is increased or the corresponding increase in the air temperature occurs due to the work of the compressor system. Therefore, the compressor discharge air contains the same quality of the moisture as the compressor inlet air. Now, when the air vapor mixture is cooled at the constant pressure with the aftercooler system, the temperature at which the vapor becomes desaturated and the moisture begin to the condensate, this type of system is known as the dew point of this temperature of the air system. Now, whenever the air passes through the aftercooler, its temperature drops to the point below to the dew point and resulting in the condensation of the 70 to 90% of this water content. Now, use of the aftercooler is to reduce the load of the dryer. So, if the air temperature is increased above the dew point, will remain at the lower temperature to which the air was previously subjected. So, consideration will be vaporized again and we can rise the dew point. So generally the range of the dew point is -40 Fahrenheit. It is the standard for the all instrument. Now we have generally two basic types of dryer used for the instrument system. The first one is the refrigeration and the second one is the desiccant type dryer. Now, the selection of the dryers is depend of the different criteria. The first criteria is it required the perfect dew point, and as you know the value of the dew point is -40 Fahrenheit. Now the next criteria is called quantity of the airflow in the inlet process. Now the third one is the air pressure, the fourth one is the desired relative humidity, and the fifth one is the system operating cost. Okay. Now the first type of the dryer is the desiccant type dryers. Now it is generally used for the outdoor instrument air system. Now in this we can use the hygroscopic materials. That means they are chemicals that readily take up and retain moisture on the surface. So the desiccant material will absorb 45% of the weight in the water. Now when the moisture air in this contact with the desiccant dryer and equivalent condition is established in which the relative humidity of the system or the air determined of the degree of the saturation of the desiccant practice. So generally, the greater the relative humidity, the more moisture is absorbed up to the 45% of this limit. Now, in the desiccant type of dryer are filled with the solid desiccant such as activate alumina or the silica gel, which remove the water vapor as the air passes through the desiccant bed. Okay. Thank you everyone. If anyone have doubt, then contact me in this my email ID.